Hi friends, welcome back to Farm Girl Diaries. My name is Caitlin and it is potato day. So we're actually a little bit earlier than I typically would be and what I think we need to be. It's July 10th. These potatoes that we're going to dig out went in a little later. So I don't think I'm quite ready for them to come out. However, I'll bring you down, I'll show you. They're kind of starting to die back a little bit. Mainly, I just want to get them out of the ground. I have some thistle here that I'm going to come in and spray tomorrow. I have a potato dish I want to do. It's kind of like have an open in time, so let's dig potatoes and see what we get. So I have 3 different patches of potatoes. We're going to leave one in because I planted that a lot later, but we're going to take this one here. I have a nice one over here. I'll show you. This one I put in, I forget when I put this in, but I think I put this in like middle of May. If not like beginning of June. So this one has some time. And then I have a volunteer patch of potatoes, a couple spots of volunteer patches of potatoes that we're gonna get out today. I have a potato dish I wanna make tomorrow. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just harvest potatoes. So I'm gonna show you what we're harvesting and then we'll get down, we'll start digging. Digging potatoes is my favorite thing to do. It is a humid day. It's not overly hot, but I am sticky and I'm sweaty. So when I get this done, I actually have a lot of other stuff I want to harvest too. So today's just going to be a big harvest day. So I thought I'd bring you guys along for it. But we're going to do this and then we're going to get back inside. Tomorrow I have a lot of weeds. So we had a big heat stretch, 100-degree temps. Didn't do anything in the garden. Couldn't care less about the garden when it's over 100 degrees. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. There is a tick in my hair. Hold on. I have to go burn the tick. I'll be right back. Okay, tick is dead. All of a sudden I felt that. So, anywho, we had over 100 degrees, or over probably like 5 or 6 days in a row where it was over 100 degrees. I was just trying to keep up with the water and as fast as I could. It's now gotten a lot cooler. Been really, really nice. And we got a couple days of rain, so that just made the weeds just after all that heat and then rain and cool temperatures, the weeds have gone crazy. So my plan is first thing tomorrow morning, that is my priority, is to weed this whole garden and get this garden back in order. So I want to kind of harvest what I want to harvest today so that tomorrow I can weed and I can spray. And then I'm not too, like, I don't want to spray my plants, but then I've gotten my stuff out of the ground, so it's not that big of a concern if I would accidentally like spray where I'm not supposed to. So let me bring you down. So this first patch here, I did a row from here the whole way down to where that orange bucket sits. So that's what we're gonna harvest right now. This patch of potatoes is I put in May or June. This is the patch where I don't know when I put it in. This is where my red onions were, and I guess I put it in the beginning of June because I think I went to the beach and a lot of my onions got stolen by birds. So I guess in the beginning of June I put these onions in or potatoes in, and they have gone crazy. So they've only been in for about a month and a half. I don't think that they've grown me potatoes yet, so I'm leaving that patch there. And then the other 2 patches are in the other part of the garden. So let's just get down here and start pulling potatoes. I peeked on these about 2 weeks ago and I didn't see anything. So I'm really nervous that I don't have potatoes, or like many potatoes, even though I have good sized potato greens. I'm nervous, so let's see. So this is why I want to spray, because I have thistle coming up and I'm spraying it and I'm keeping up with the battle, but I want to come spray all this, which is why I want to get these out of the ground. So pulling potatoes is the funnest part. All you do is you pull and see what comes up. These are the seed potatoes that I grew. These potatoes, they're not rotten, and even if they were rotten, I would just leave them in the ground a lot of my volunteer potatoes comes from potatoes like this that I just left behind. So I'm gonna leave it, and if it wants to grow me more potatoes, it can grow me more potatoes. I pulled about maybe half of my row, and I'm not having a great showing. This is all I've gotten so far, which is kind of what I expected. It's not, when I peek on them, I'm not having a ton of success. So I'm gonna because down here, let me turn you around. Down here, the potatoes are looking a lot better. They're not looking as wilty as that first batch. And then this is all I need for my dinner anyway. So I'm gonna let these potatoes down here go. Typically potatoes will tell you when they're ready. They will start dying back. So I'm gonna let them go a little bit longer, but I got more than enough for the dinner that I'm gonna make this week. So that's good. So I'll leave, I got half of the row, kind of from that sunflower on the other side of the trellis, from that sunflower down. I left them there. Now this patch is a volunteer patch, and then because I saw this growing, I did come throw potatoes in here sometime in April, I think, early May. So I'm gonna peek at this and see if this is ready to harvest, and if it's not, again, I'll leave it. Maybe we don't harvest potatoes today. This was the volunteer one. They're nice. Okay, that volunteer only had a little one. So, not a great potato harvest, but I have more than enough for my meal tomorrow. Plus, these big bad boys aren't the biggest, but with some sour cream and butter, they're gonna be delicious. I still have another bed full of potatoes that we're gonna let go for probably another month. And then I need to go, I keep saying I'm gonna do this, I keep forgetting. I need to go buy my fall potatoes, so I get fall potatoes on the ground. So I should have done that today. I need to do that this weekend. Go buy potatoes from the store so I can plant them, and I'm gonna do hopefully a big harvest for fall, because that is not enough potatoes for me to can. Now what I'm making tomorrow that I need the potatoes for is I'm doing this, I don't know what it's called, but it's like in a slow cooker, cabbage, green bean, potatoes, and smoked sausage. So I have the potatoes, I have a little cabbage inside, but I need to get a bigger cabbage. So I think my cabbages are ready, so let's pick one. I love harvesting cabbages because I think it's the cutest little thing. So this is a little head, and that's okay. I need to make sauerkraut this year, and I typically buy my cabbages from the local market to make my sauerkraut. So this guy, fresh eaten all day long. Let's see what else we can find. I'm a big proponent of having flowers in your garden because you need the bees for your garden to grow. And that catnip, I don't know if you can tell, is covered in bees. I love it. Also my broccoli, I think it's finally gone to seed. I see a couple more heads I could probably pick. A couple little, not heads, but what are they called? Florets, that's the word. I said it wasn't hot out here, and that was a lie. I'm really hot. But look what I see, some tomatoes. I'm so excited. We're in fresh tomatoes. We don't have big tomatoes yet, but at least I have cherries, and I'll take it. While we're harvesting, we're gonna harvest some zinnias. This week we did a garden tour and I complained that I didn't have that many zinnias. Well, that day, my mom and I went to a nursery and they had free zinnia plants because they look pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. But I was like, if anyone can save them, I can save them. So I got them. And so I read, the more you cut the zinnias, the more they come. So especially because I have these ones that are struggling with life, I'm gonna cut them so they hopefully will produce more flowers. So I'm really excited. I think, well, let me get this one. This is the bouquet of flowers, of zinnias at least, that I'll have this year. So I think that's gonna be a really pretty bouquet. I don't know why. Normally zinnias are something I have no problem growing. So I don't know why this year was different. But this year and last year, I didn't have the number of zinnias that I thought I would have. I think I have a bug problem. I don't think. I know. Let's go talk about that. I think that's what's happening. I think bugs are either eating my seeds or eating my plants right as they start to germinate. In here, these guys, move that potato. These guys are trying to grow so badly and they just keep getting eaten. I do not know why, but let's see if we can peek here at these potatoes. I don't see anything yet, but these green beans are trying to grow so badly and they're not doing anything. And then I have this big guy here, which I'm hoping now that he's getting taller. He was on the ground. I think as he put off green beans, they were getting eaten because I haven't gotten any green beans off this guy. But I'm hoping now that he's getting taller, I'll get green beans off of him. I know the other one is producing green beans, but I also think they're getting eaten too. Let's go see if we can find any. But all these are supposed to be bush green beans and they're vining green beans, problem number one. And then I must have some sort of bug, of pest that's eating everything. My God, it's getting so hot out here. Let's get the last couple things and go inside. One of my favorite things to do in summer is fill up my counters or fill up my little ironing board with all of my fresh grown produce. And it's always fun to do it for the very first time because now we know once you do it for the very first time, it'll be like this every single week. So we got our first harvest of potatoes. Not a great batch. We need to do more for fall. I still have a lot more in there. I didn't harvest everything. So I'm gonna let everything go about another probably 2 or 3 weeks. I'll wait till those plants actually start telling me they're dying. But at least where we harvested a whole bunch of thistle, I can now go spray that thistle. So that's good. I got a couple of green beans. I'm still gonna need to use one of my cans from last year for this meal because I wanna do the cabbage, potatoes. And I'm picking like 2 or 3 green beans a day. So at least I got some fresh ones. Our tomatoes are just starting to come in. And I accidentally picked my very first pepper. This is an orange yummy pepper, so it's supposed to be orange. Picked it by accident. So I'm gonna let this ripen inside, but that'll be delicious. I've been harvesting zucchini already like crazy. I think these are my 4th and 5th cucumbers, 5th and 6th cucumbers. So I've been harvesting zucchini like crazy. So we're gonna make some zucchini cakes with these this week. I picked some kale. I made a delicious pasta salad that calls for spinach. Well, I don't have spinach, but I have kale. So I'm gonna wash this real good and then I'm gonna feed this to my bunny and put this in my pasta salad. I'm gonna get this cabbage all cleaned up. That's gonna be my meal for tomorrow. And then I have gladdies. This is what I wanted to go get, and it's too hot for me to go do it. I have my gladiolus starting to come in. So I have one out there. I picked these because they don't stand up. They fall over. So I need to go pick these, and then I love to just enjoy them inside. These ones are being really uncooperative because they just want to fall over. So I've just been putting them there so I can enjoy it. But it is too hot. I am tired. I got a cute little bowl of zinnias too. I don't think I showed you. Cute little bowl of zinnias. Hopefully next year I can figure out what's happening with my zinnias, and hopefully I can start getting better, like more zinnias, because it's such an easy thing to grow, and for some reason I keep losing my plants. But I'm excited. First harvest down, first massive harvest down, and this will be a couple of good meals for me this week. I have a ton more kale out there. I have more cabbages. My kohlrabi can come in. I think I'm gonna give that another week. I have some really nice sized ones, and then I have some tiny ones out there, so I think I'm gonna give it another week or so. And then if we get another cool day here in the forecast, I'll go clean out that whole bed, pull the kohlrabi, pull the broccoli plants, and then that is gonna be a fall bed. What else I have? My peas are done. I need to tomorrow pull the pea plants out of the garden because that's helping to create some of the mess that we have. And then is there anything else? I have one little Romesca cauliflower that I'm watching. It's still pretty little, so once that gets big, I'll harvest that and I'll show you guys that. But right now we're waiting on the peppers and the tomatoes to start rolling in full force. Spring garden is officially out. Minus the kohlrabi, I have them, but they'll pick any day. And then we're gonna start planting for the fall garden. So I need some cooler days on the forecast because right now I am hot. I'm gonna go sit down in the air conditioning, and I'll deal with all of this later. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, friends.